An old man going a lone highway came at the evening cold and gray to a chasm vast and deep and wide, through which was flowing a sullen tide. The old man crossed in the twilight dim. The sullen stream had no fear for him, but he turned when safe on the other side and built a bridge to span the tide. Old man, said a fellow pilgrim near, you are wasting strength with building here. Your journey will end with the ending day. You never again will pass this way. You've crossed the chasm deep and wide. Why build you this bridge at the evening tide? The builder lifted his old gray head. Good friend, in the path I have come, he said, there followeth after me today a youth whose feet must pass this way. This chasm that has been naught to me, to that fair-haired youth may a pitfall be. He too must cross in the twilight dim. Good friend, I am building this bridge for him. That was The Bridge Builder, written by Will Allen Dromgoole and first released in the year 1900 in the book titled A Builder. Like The Bridge Builder, Death Stranding imparts the message that we must help those who come after us, regardless of praise and whether or not we even see the fruits of our labors. We must work together to make easier the lives of others without any benefit to ourselves. Just as we have benefited from those who came before us, and those who came before us have benefited from those who came before them, we must pay it forward. We must do our part. We must pay our debt to society. It is in this way that humanity continues not only to survive, but to grow stronger. It is this altruism that has lifted humanity out of its darkest days time and time again. And it appears that it is this that is needed today more than ever in our fight against climate change, which Death Stranding reflects.
Bridges, humanity's best hope for the future. Or avoiding extinction, if you prefer.
We must do everything we can for the future, even if we don't see the benefits ourselves. As the old Greek proverb states, a society grows great when old men plant trees whose shade they know they shall never sit in. Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding conveys this message by creating gameplay elements which allow the player to not only help ease the burden of their own playthrough, but also aid other players through theirs. A bridge constructed by one player can help prevent a frustrating failed mission to another. A player can make the difficult trek and spend their hard-earned materials to construct a road so that others don't have to carry the burden. For these actions, the player can receive likes, which is a satisfying way to know that you've helped another player, but you will likely never know how much time you've saved another player, and they will never know the frustration you may have endured to help them. I find the thought of my efforts in-game helping others far more satisfying than almost any other game's reward system. Getting those likes and knowing that my actions are affecting the gameplay of others is truly a special feeling. And I know, on the surface, it's just a game, but it's actually something more than that. It's a message. It's a philosophy. It's a piece of art that uses the medium of video games to not only tell a story with a message about connections and our need to lean on one another, but to directly connect the players and show the benefits of doing so. If you've played Death Stranding long enough, you know how amazing it is to see zip lines built by other players. You know how much time and effort that can save you. You know how convenient it is to come across a pre-built safe house or timefall shelter just when you need it most. It's truly an experience I have not quite had before while playing a game. You directly experience the ease gifted to you by another player who wasn't around to hear your sigh of relief. And you can help reconstruct America's infrastructure knowing that you are gifting that same relief to others. This message that can be felt more than just read or watched is interwoven into every aspect of Death Stranding. The main story, the side quest, the collectible emails and interviews, they all further this message that we as humans need one another, and that the connections between us are of the utmost importance.
Sam, if we don't all come together again, humanity will not survive.
Without each other, we fail. Without others, we lose meaning. Therefore, we must nurture these connections to ensure that they don't erode, just as Sam Porter bridges must defend roads and zip lines from the timefall rusting them away. The infrastructure of our society today, with its complex web of roads, railways, highways, airports, server farms, satellites, and cell towers, is a visual representation of humanity's reliance on connections. Connections to move food so we can eat, materials so we can build, information so we can learn, but also connections so that we may keep in touch with loved ones, connections to keep us happy and sane. Death Stranding dives into all of these connections, not just the roads to move goods, as is the first thing you will notice when looking at gameplay footage, but also a network to share information and ideas, a network to reunite people and create a common goal. But Death Stranding also ponders our need to see people face to face, to hear someone's natural voice without it first being digitized and transmitted, what it means to be united as a people, the importance or unimportance of having a shared identity with others, and what it means to be united under common goals. In telling its story about a future America, it contemplates our current day world and humanity as a whole. We've gained so much from our advancements in technology, but have we also lost something? If so, how much have we lost? How much more will we lose going forward? Does it really matter if we lose those things? Death Stranding contains people with different viewpoints on these questions, and it is through their different beliefs that the overall argument is had and dissected. Playing through the game and hearing the different beliefs is like being inside the head of Hideo Kojima, listening to his thoughts and arguments about humanity and the importance of the connections between us. The game is certainly unique and not for everyone, and for that reason, it was a big risk taken by Hideo Kojima to make this the first game for Kojima Productions as an independent studio. That being said, it fits with the auteur status that Kojima has achieved in the video game industry. The game was brought to fruition by many talented people, but it is certainly the brainchild of Hideo Kojima. Playing Death Stranding is playing in his world, listening to his story, hearing his thoughts, connecting the pieces of his arguments to one another. It's a game that the industry needs and deserves, which is an artist creating an experience, an artist making others think about our world. Death Stranding is further proof that the video game industry is growing up and developing into a medium to compete with any other. A medium that can change people's viewpoints and make people look at the world differently. With Death Stranding, Hideo Kojima has constructed a bridge to a viewpoint, an outlook on humanity that is ultimately an optimistic one, but not always an easy one to find. But why? Why take this risk as a developer? Why break the mold with your first independent game? Why invite such criticism to a newly independent company that will have every eye in the video game world looking at it? Because there are others who are contemplating our world. There are others questioning humanity, our purpose, our reasons for being. Others are thinking about giving up on humanity or hiding away from the world. They may find optimism, or they may only see turmoil. But with this bridge, the journey may be easier than it would have been otherwise. With this bridge, certain pessimistic pitfalls may be avoided. With this connection to another human and watching their viewpoint struggling against hope and despair, one may feel less alone. That fair-haired youth may feel a unity in their common struggle. Perhaps it is this reason that Hideo Kojima took on the risks and toiled away in the twilight dim. And perhaps If asked, he would say, "Good friend, I am building this bridge for him." Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know in the subscription button down below, smash those comments, and ring the like bell.